Here's a homemade peach pie that Glo just took out of the oven. For the instructions and the recipe to make this pie or bake this pie, go to Glo's Kindred Kitchen on YouTube and you'll find everything right there you need to know. And this is looking really good and I'm sure it is delicious. Try it out. Bye now.
Hi, welcome to Glo's Kindred Kitchen and I'm Glo. Today we're going to be making a peach pie. And so let's get started. First of all, I had some peaches that we had put up from last year in the freezer still, so that's what we're going to be using today. And there's probably about 4 to 5 cups of it in there, probably closer to 5 cups of peaches that I defrosted and I put in this pan. And to that I'm going to be putting in a half a cup of white sugar and a quarter of a cup of cornstarch. And we're going to just turn on our heat and we'll start it off at about medium. We're just going to combine this. And what we're planning on doing is bringing this up to a pretty hard simmer just to get everything combined well. And so the cornstarch kind of thickens up a little, and we'll see where we're at with it. One of the reasons I decided to do it like this today, instead of putting the fresh peaches right into the pie dough, or the pie pan with the dough, is because I wanted to make sure that I had the right amount of sugar in this, since I have had these frozen for a while. So anyway, I will be coming back as soon as this comes up to a hard simmer, and we'll see you then. Bye. Hi, welcome back. As you can tell, this is now pretty hot. And it's like, I turned it down a little because it was really bubbling, but you can see it starting to bubble up now.
It's a bubbler, Miss Glo.
And it's thickened real nice. So now what I'm going to do is I'm adding 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. There we go. And I'm going to put the butter in. This is 1 tablespoon of butter. One teaspoon of vanilla. And that's real vanilla. I'm going to just turn this off. So we're going to need to bring this down, let it cool anyway. You can see it's bubbling and stuff, and we're just finishing up with the spices that are going to go in this. And then also we're going to be putting in a half of a teaspoon of almond extract. Actually a quarter, I'm sorry. Whoop. That's good. There's a little bit more there, but we'll see how it goes because it spilled over a little. You don't want to overpower it with the almond extract, so that's why I did that. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to just let this cool down to where it's like lukewarm before I put it in my pie crust. And in the meantime, I'm going to get my pie crust ready, and I'll tell you more about that when I come back, and we'll see you back in a few minutes. Bye. Hi, welcome back. Well, I went ahead and I put my peach mixture inside my pie crust here. I did forget to tell you that you need to put a pinch of salt in it as well, and I went ahead and did that, but I needed to tell you that. So for my pie crust, I have this pie crust recipe on YouTube, and it's called Glo's Flaky Tasty Pie Crust, and it's very versatile. Like for instance, in this recipe, what I did, because cinnamon and nutmeg go very well with peach, so I took the liberty to put a quarter of a teaspoon of nutmeg and a little bit more than that of cinnamon in my pie crust. And I did it up with the flour and everything before I added my Crisco or lard to it. So our pie crust is going to have those flavors in it. And that's why I did not put it in with the peach mixture. So anyway, I just wanted to touch base about that. So I went ahead and I rolled out my bottom crust, and here's my top. And I've just folded it in half. I'm going to bring it over here to kind of center it. And then we're going to just flip it over. And see how nice that pie crust is? It is so easy to work with.
Very easy, Miss Glow.
Even you could do it.
That's probably true.
Yep, I know you could. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut around here to get rid of some of this dough that we don't need on here. And we'll make like some little cookies or something with that and bake it along with the pie. It won't take as long, of course, as the pie. You have to kind of watch it or it gets away from you and it'll burn. You cook it about as long as you would a cookie.
That's what Lucy, our dog's waiting for. Cook one of those.
Oh, she loves them. So let's continue with this, and then we'll. And if you don't have a pair of kitchen shears, it's well worth the investment. For many years, I did not have any, and when I did get them, I was like, man, I should have done this years ago.
What'd you use before that, Miss Glow?
Just a knife. That's a good question. But kitchen shears are so much easier.
I thought maybe you had a box knife or something you're using. I don't know. Or a switchblade.
No. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead, and what I do is I tuck under. Let's get rid of this pie crust over here. And I'm just going to tuck it under all the way around, and then we'll flute it. And this pie plate I'm using is a stone pie plate, and I love it. Usually my go-to for pies. I also have a stone one that's a deep dish one that's real good too. For some reason, the glass and the stone pie plates tend to help you not to get a soggy crust on the bottom of your pie.
Oh, don't want a soggy crust, Miss Glow. Is that from Pampered Chef?
This one, yes. I've had it for a long time. Okay, so now we're going to flute. So I take my thumb and I press, and then I take my index finger here and my thumb here, and I do that. And I put my thumb where my other thumb was and do it again. And just follow it around. It's real easy. You could take a fork and prick it down along all the way around, press it in, but for myself, I just find this works better for me. So there you go. And then the next thing you want to do is to prick holes in it to let steam out. If you were going to do a lattice work pie crust, you wouldn't need to do this part, but it's important to let the steam out. I mean, I could have done a peach or whatever on the top, you know, make it decorative. Do it whatever way you want to do it. It's your cooking and it's your kitchen, so you can do exactly the way you want. And then this is some cinnamon sugar. And I always have some in my cupboard for like cinnamon sugar toast. You know, if you butter your toast and then put this on, it's really good. So I'm just going to sprinkle this over the top. And that's going to add some more of that cinnamon and flavor. And I'm going to put this in the oven at 425. And then in about 20 minutes or so, we'll turn it down to 350 and let it continue to bake for about another 30 minutes. I'll see you back in a little while. Bye. Hi, I just took this pie out of the oven and it's really piping hot. So as you can tell, it's nice and brown. And I can hardly wait to have this tonight. It smells delicious. So we'll show you a piece of it later on when we cut it after it cools off. Bye.
Here's a piece of the peach pie Miss Glow made this afternoon. For the recipe and instructions on how to make this pie or bake this pie, go to Glow's Kindred Kitchen on YouTube and everything will be right there. Thank you very much. Bye.